Hey, it's Allison with Nurturing Readers. I want to share with you some of our newest fiction for our younger readers. So starting with our youngest, this is That's Not My Narwhal. This series is so popular and for a good reason. There's bold black outlines that capture the little one's eyes. There's touchy-feelies on each page and a mouse, of course, to find on each page too. Makes it super fun. And I love that the new one's about the narwhal. Next, we have a brand new series called Lift the Flap, Play Hide and Seek with Tiger. There's also Play Hide and Seek with Zebra too. This has huge flaps to play hide and seek with the animals. What kid doesn't like hide and seek? And then of course at the end you get to find Tiger and he says boo. So super fun new book. Alright, next we have Time to Brush. I love All Better, and this is brand new in that series, all about brushing teeth. So it's got 5 reusable stickers, and the animals are going to bed and brushing their teeth, so you put the sticker on them and say time to brush, back and forth, up and down, clean, clean, clean. I love that new one, and we'll use that chant when we brush our teeth, I'm sure. Alright, next we have Peek Inside a Fairy Tale, The Elves and the Shoemaker. This is a great new one. I love this series for toddlers. The Elves and the Shoemaker is a great story all about kindness, and I love that we can teach our kids that theme at an early age. Alright, next we have Goodnight Chameleon. This is a great new one. It has the felt flaps like Goodnight Owl if you're familiar, but it's teaching kids all about colors as the chameleon is going through and meeting his different friends. I love that one for the little kids. Alright, next we have a great new storybook called Another Book About Bears. This book is funny. So right away, Bear interrupts the story and says, no, hold it right there. Not another book about bears. Do you know how many books have been written about bears? I'll tell you, too many. And so then the bears go on strike, and he then quits. And then he tries to work with the author and tell all these different animal ideas of who could be starring in the story other than a bear. And what they find is no other animal really measures up to a bear, but they find a way to compromise and get Bear the rest he needs because he's been super busy, and it's just a fun end of the story. Alright, here's another book about bears. This is a yoga book all about yoga and mindfulness, which is great. There's 13 different yoga poses in here. It is a story about Bear going through the forest, but I love that there's instructions down here so your kids can do the poses too. Super great new addition all about yoga. Alright, next we have My Book, Not Yours. This is about 2 new characters, Lento the Sloth and Fox. And Lento is starting to tell a story, but first he needs to take a little nap. Well, you snooze, you lose, because then Fox comes in and takes over the story, and they kind of have at it with each other. But I love this because Lento the Sloth and Fox are a whole new series, and there's going to be more about them in the coming releases, which is fun. Alright, next we have Fair Share. This book is all about fairness, but I love the rhyming text too. Hare and Bear are trying to pick some pears, but they can't reach them, so they use chairs to try to reach them, but Hare needs more chairs than Bear. So the concept is all about that fair is not equal, but you get what you need, and I love that concept because I work in special education and we're always trying to teach kids that, and so it's definitely a great concept, and they're going to learn it better through a story than me saying it. Alright, next we have Draw Me a Story. This is about Anna. She loves books, she loves fairy tales, and so she's reading Little Red Riding Hood again. And all of a sudden, Little Red Riding Hood stops and starts staring right at her and says, I've had it up to here. Every time you read this story, I end up in the wolf's belly. So Anna thinks for a moment, and she grabs her pens, and she changes the story at the end where Little Red Riding Hood's going to be in the carnival. And all the other characters in other fairy tales hear about this and want Anna to change their stories too. So in the end, Anna becomes an illustrator, and so I love that this book highlights the importance of illustrators and what they do for stories, making them so good. Alright, next we have Luna Loves Art. This is the same series as Luna Loves Library Day, and Luna is going on a field trip to an art museum. She learns all about art, but this book is great because she meets Finn, who's having a rough day and is actually quite mean to her at first, but then she gives him a second chance and they end up becoming friends. So I love the themes of celebrating art, friendship, and giving someone a second chance and being there for them when they're having a rough time. The next one is The Perfect Shelter. This book is great because it's all about addressing how we feel when someone we love is sick. So in this story, the two main characters are sisters, and the one sister's sick and the other sister's dealing with understanding that for the first time. So I love that we have a book that on this topic, because it's going to help those conversations if your kids end up experiencing that with a loved one too. All right, next we have Lights Out Leonard. This one is really great if your kid is afraid of the dark, because Leonard is too. He's afraid of the dark because he's afraid of monsters that come out at night. Well, one day he finds a book, and it's called How to Frighten Monsters. And so in that book, he learns that if you have minty breath, tidy bedrooms, teddy bears, gentle music, and kisses from parents, because did you know the spit from parents, it is magical and keeps monsters away. Good fact. If he does those things, then the monsters will not be in his bedroom, and he can finally turn the lights out. Super fun new storybook I love. Well, I have to admit I can't fit every book into this video, so we have other new releases that would totally pair with interests of your kids. So it's so important to pair with interests of your kids because that's what's going to help them fall in love with reading. So we have new book about dance, book about Spanish or French, and superheroes. So definitely just ask if you need to pair a book for your kiddo.